Swordcraft. I'll start on Swordcraft now. With probably the worst card in the expansion. Spring Cleaning. Countdown 3. At the end of your turn, randomly discard one of the highest cards in your hand. The highest. And draw a card. PTP Sword. So what this does is you lose a card in your hand if you have to play it. It doesn't really give you card advantage, it just gives you card filtering. And you don't get to choose how your cards are filtered. It just like, oh, I actually want to keep this one card. Now it's gone now. And you get a veteran, a veteran lance or something like you didn't really want. There's no reason to play this card. The only reason I see this card being a thing is because it ruins your take 2 runs as a sword player. Keep it for the art, yeah. Just keep an animated version for the art. So this card just makes take 2 weaker for sword, because bronze is gonna come up all the time and you're gonna hate it. Every time you see this card in take 2, you're gonna hate it. Yeah. It's bad. Aesthetic. Get rid of cards. But your main card that has Storm on it is called Albert, and you kind of want to keep that. Also, you also want like your Sabaki for removal. You don't want to lose your removal and get like a 1-drop. Also, you want to play 1-drop that does damage on turn 1, not Spring Cleaning. It's pretty bad. It's more like Flame Rats, yeah. We'll get to that later. Naval Guard. An officer, it's 2/2 for 2, so average fighter stats. But it has Enhance 6, becomes a 5/5, and it has Ward. That's like okay, right? Obviously, a 5/5 for 6 with Ward is like, it's good. That's the same stats as the what's his name? I forget his name. The Shadow, like the guy in Shadow. What's his name? The one that dies and gives something else Word. What's his name? But it's like its stats aren't like terrible. They're just not good for 6 play points. But it's versatile. It has two play modes, which is good. But if it was just like a 6 play point 5/5, you would never see play. You wouldn't even want to pick it up in take 2. But since it has 2 modes, it's really nice because it gives you options in take 2. This card's really good in take 2. I'm just gonna like throw that out there because you always want a 2-drop on turn 2 in take 2. So it's that. And sometimes in the late game you just need a big body, and it's also that. It's really good in take 2. So where Spring Cleaning's like the worst, you never want to pick it up. This guy you probably want to pick up when you see him. I don't think he's good enough for Constructed though. Because you're not going to really have a problem with card selection usually. Ghost Boy, yeah. Ghost Rider, yeah, that's his name. Thinking of Ghost Rider, comparing the stats to him. And that card doesn't see play. And Constructed. This is pretty good for take 2. Also, decent budget open for new players. He's not that bad. It's not unplayable and Constructed. Just there's better options. Let's see the Vagabond Frog. 3 play points, 1/2, so its stats are terrible. At the end of your turn, gain ambush. We've got a new Pepe. He's gonna poke your opponent every turn. They don't have a board clear. You combine this card up with amulets that give your stuff boost, or it's the officer. You just run a bunch of commanders that have give stats to officers, and you just make this frog really big, and you continuously grow your frog, and every turn you just punches your opponent in the face. We're gonna have we're gonna have the glorious Frogtron deck. You know, like it's like Voltron, right? Voltron, you have all the pieces, they all combine to make Voltron. This is gonna be Frogtron. We have the frog, and then all you do is buff the frog over and over again. And you combine it. You combine all the pieces to make the biggest, most powerful frog, and he beats down your opponent every turn. And then sometimes you Cyclone Blade him. You Frog Blade people. It's pretty crazy, but also not. It's pretty fragile because board clears. And single target. Oh, single target removal can hit him because he's always going to ambush, which is nice. Yeah, just board clears. Either it's like board clear or get frog beats. He's not fragile, just sensitive. Yeah. And that might be a fun deck to play. If you draft a lot of buffs in Take 2, it's gonna be good for this guy. If you don't draft a lot of buffs for this guy, he's pretty terrible. I compare him to Trinity Dragon. Trinity Dragon's a 2/2 for 3. And just can't be attacked, so he can be single target removal. This guy can't be single target removal or attacked, which is much better. It's one less attack. He's in sword, so he gets a lot of options to get buffed. So I think it's much better than Trinity Dragon. So making that comparison, he seems a lot better to me. Yeah, like good frog. Next we have Tristan of the Round Table. Fanfare: if an allied commander is in play, gain last words, summon Tristan of the Round Table. So he gets, if he has a commander with him, if he dies, he comes back once because of the fanfare. His play points is really awkward. His stats are he's understated for his play points. That's kind of makes sense because his effect's pretty strong to get to work. You can play this alongside like amulets that also commanders, so it kind of guarantees his effects. He plays like beside Banner. In a deck that maybe has a lot of commanders in it, you might play this guy because he's like really sticky. But if you're not playing like amulets that are commanders, it's kind of hard. It's hard to guarantee that it gets his effect. And if he doesn't get his effect, he's really terrible because his stats are so poor. But in Take 2, is like he's got poor stats, really bad in curve, but that's not always like the worst thing in Take 2. And if you get the commander in play and this guy in play in Take 2, is like really good. Million to Tristan, yeah. What you can also do is play the assassins and ninjas that make your commanders have stealth, and play this guy beside them. So you kind of protect your commander, have stealth. Maybe like Cursed General, and this guy will also have Storm. That's a dream right there. They're not terrible, not particularly that good, because it's kind of difficult to get this to work. Unless you play him on like a turn 7 or something, beside a 2-cost commander. I know, I was like looking at chat and like what? Alright. Wow, that's gonna go into a video. Alright. Moving on. Luminous Standard. Looking super small, adorable banner. Give your allied commander when an allied commander comes to play, give it +1/+1. Yeah, it costs 3 play points, so it's cheaper than banner. It's good. More expensive than Valkyrie here. This card is amazing. Like, it gives the reason it's amazing, it gives +1 health as well. Like, usually these kind of effects just give a +1 attack, so it's like use it aggressively. Makes your guys easier for your traded guys, but it gives +1 defense as well. So it makes all your guys even tougher to kill. Yeah, like, super legit. It's amazing. Like, here you'll see the next card, and I'll show it off too. How like synergy with the next cards coming up. But let's see, definitely could be a new archetype in constructed commander-based Swordcraft. Yeah, it's not a commander itself. Like, you can't fetch it with a maid, and it doesn't like sit there and give you synergies of having commander in play. But I think if you're playing this card, you're just playing a bunch of other commanders. Take 2, you may or may not want to pick this, depending on how many commanders you've already drafted. But even if you draft like a few commanders, it's still going to be okay. But if it just buffs a few of them, it's decent. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, you're still gonna play officers in the deck with commanders. You're still gonna play like the Luminous Assassin, stuff like that, and other officers. But it's not gonna be. It's gonna be more centered around commanders, like Monica and Albert and Aurelia. Next we have the Shrouded Assassin. Stats are pretty poor for cost. 4 play point, 2/3. Usually want to see like a 3/4, but it has ambush and bane. So it's like it's like a better patient assassin, right? Like Hearthstone patient assassin, it just like kills one thing. This has enough health that maybe you want to kill 2 things with it. You can evolve and kill something, or you can just let it sit there. Yeah, it's like, it's alright. Like, it's not that great because you just run removal in the same slot. It doesn't replace like good removal cards, but it's also an officer, so it can get buffed. E tier, yeah, it's alright. It's like nothing amazing. And I picked it up in Take 2 because it allows you to kill some bigger things. And it's also a body. Maybe this will see maybe we'll see a Rogue Creed deck. Maybe in the future we'll get more support cards for ambush. We'll see. This card I was talking about. This card, we'll go first. 5 play point, 2/3, but its fanfare summons Luminous Knight. Luminous Knight is the 2 play point, 2/1. That when you evolve it, it gives all your other guys +1 attack for the turn. So you get kind of like a 4/4 of stats. Ready to cost 2 bodies, but they're both commanders. And since they're both commanders, they both get the activation of the Luminous Standard. So if you have a Luminous Standard in play, and you play this, you get a 3/4 and a 3/2. I mean, that's pretty good for 5 play points, right? And on the bonus of that, you get the evolve points won't be used when you evolve an allied commander, including itself. It is the other, right? So you can immediately place and evolve it into a 4/5 for free. Kind of ridiculous. Or you can evolve the Luminous Knight if you want, but I think it's probably better to evolve this guy or girl or whatever other commander you might have in play already. Yeah, it's like they want to immediately remove it because it has a super good reoccurring effect, and yeah, stats are decent, spread across 2 bodies. Both are commanders. Card's really good. She's a mage, who cares about armor? Yeah, no, she got the upgrade. She got the MMO upgrade. This is like your beginner gear in MMO. This is like when you're level 30. You get this set. A lot better stats. Also, you can see in the picture, it's kind of cute, the Luminous Knight standing in the background. And this is the Luminous Knight in her like evolved state. Yeah, it's pretty decent in like Take 2. Because it's like playing 2 things, like a 3-drop. A 3-drop is 3 play points, 2/3 usually, right? And then a 2-drop is like the 2/1, right? So you get the stats of a 3-drop and a 2-drop for 5, so it adds up perfectly. It's really good for Take 2 as well. And it gets immediate evolve for free. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's good. Next we have Jolly Rogers, the 6 play point 5/6. Randomly gain rush, gain or ward. Yeah. Good old Jolly Orange ears. He's a commander too, so yeah, take that note. So he's gonna get buffed by the other card, but what do you want most of the time here? Rush seems pretty poor. Like, you wouldn't play a 6-drop 5/6 with Rush, I don't think. Maybe Ward. Even then, it's not good. Bane. He already plays high attack, so Bane's not really a big deal, right? Maybe Rush. I don't know. You wouldn't play this card over anything else. Yeah. It's not that exciting. Take 2 is fine. Like, all these effects are pretty good, Take 2. He's pretty good in Take 2. That's about it. Not that exciting. It's just like, why? I don't like more random effects. You can play him like in the situation where you want Rush, you get Bane. Play him in a situation where you want Bane to kill a Bahamut or something, you get Ward or Rush, and it just can't do anything. Yeah, it's not that good. I am in charge now. Yeah, he's not a pirate. He's not trait pirate. He's Jack Sparrow. Yeah, but there's better commanders. There's better commander than this guy. You wouldn't play him just because commander. Next we have Captain Alysia. Yeah, new waifu card. 3 play points, 2/3. Commander. All allied officers can't be damaged or destroyed by spells and effects until its follower leaves the area. So yeah, much better than Alysia. Has the good stats for, like, the right stats for play points as a commander. Since it's commander, it can be targeted by I forgot what the card's called. The the assassin and just make it have stealth and just sit in stealth forever. Well, all of your officers just don't die. That's where that synergy. They need the board wipe to clear it. I'm not even sure how that works. So like, say they have a decree, right? You have this and like, let's say 2 other officers. Do the 2 other officers die to the decree or just this card? That's just something I'd wanna test out, I guess. Yeah, I think it would only kill her, right? Which is really good. It's amazing. It's insurance things that like you have to use a 6 play point card just to kill 1 card if this is in stealth. Yeah, it's well, you have to play it beside officers, so it's not really that good in a deck that's playing the standard. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Imagine playing like officers that have ward as well. You just drop an officer with a ward and it just blocks forever. Yeah, this card's ridiculous. Take 2, it's still really good because you just play beside some officers and you're gonna have a hard time getting through if you don't have removal. And it's not uncommon that you're gonna get the assassin. You play this with the assassin and your opponent just has to give up. And this card's like, there's like situations where you can easily like lock down your opponent. Yeah, everything about this is good. It might actually be the card needed to bring mid-range sword back. Really good. Then we have her in the art again for support cannon. 5 play points. Whenever an allied commander is played, deal X damage to a random enemy follower. X equals attack the commander. If there's no enemy follower in play, deal X to enemy later instead. I like this better than cards. Like if this card was Hearthstone, it would just be X damage to a random enemy. So it like hit the leader or hit the followers, but it prefers followers before it prefers face, which is good. X equals the attack of the commander. So like over a few turns, it's gonna get a ton of value, especially since it can go face too. So we can, if they're not opponent's not like doesn't have a board, they're gonna die real quick. Because if they do have a board, their board's gonna get like decimated by your commanders. The only problem is that you have to play this on turn 5 or later. It's like a really hefty cost, but the effect is really good for its cost. I mean, like the effect is really good, but the cost is really high, so it might be hard to play this card. Yeah, like nice. Like I'll have to look at all the other commanders you might want to play with this. The stuff that comes to mind is like It was effect activate after Aurelia. So you play Aurelia, she gets the buff, and then she does a big damage something. With Albert, does like 3 damage. It's not that exciting. Monica, if you play like this on turn 5 and play Monica on turn 6, they probably won't have a board anymore. This card would be amazing with Monica. Monica will like drop on the board, kill a thing, evolve, kill a thing, attack, kill another thing. They don't have a board anymore. And so this maybe would be like might see play. We'll see how if you actually have enough like breathing room to actually play this card or not. Like you can like play this on a later turn and combo it off with another officer on the same turn. I mean a commander. So maybe you play like a slower game and you wait for later in the game and you drop this besides something else to protect yourself, and then gain more value over later turns in the game. Yeah, it's random, but the way you play it, I think you probably want to be killing a thing per turn. You play it. I don't know. I wouldn't first pick this in take 2. 13 damage combo with Albert. Well, they have to have no guys on board, right? Oh, also take note that this card is random, and so it can hit stuff that can't be. It hits stuff in ambush, which is nice, and hits stuff behind wards, so randomly. If you're lucky, you might get some good hits with this. 30 damage to Albert. No, they have to have some. If they have something in play, it doesn't do that. If they don't have anything in play, it yeah, it kind of destroys them. 13 damage from Albert. Yeah, hits on targetable cards. Actually, just went over. Actually, another commander. Actually, I finished my thought there. I wouldn't first pick this in take 2, but if you draft enough commanders over the game, if it's like another last pick, you might want to pick this up because it's really good. If you get the value from your commanders. Next we have Captain Walfred. 8 play point, 5/5, so its stats are pretty bad for its cost. Fanfare, give +2/+2 to all other allied followers. Give allied followers off this board officers. So this gives +2/+2 to your other commanders and neutrals, and then all of your allied officers have a ward. So if you have like 2 other things on board, it gets its stats out of it. If you get an officer on board, it's Captain Daddy. Wow. It's good. It costs a lot though. Like it might cost too much. But imagine you play like a Luminous Knight or Luminous Mage and it survives, and you play this. That's so much value. Also a commander, so it's like if you're playing commander deck, it's a 6/6. Just Gwain it. Yeah. We're gonna go with Gwain next. So maybe its cost might not be that big of a problem. It is a good card, just restricted by its high playpoint cost. And it doesn't do anything if you don't have anything on board. So if you're losing on the board, it doesn't do anything. Yeah. I think it needs to be tested. We'll see. I think the whole commander archetype needs to be tested. Next we have Gwain of the Round Table. Whenever this follower attacks, subtract 1 from the cost of all commanders in your hand. It also has Enhance, gain +1/+1 and Rush. Yeah, it's good. Its stats are good for its play point cost. On 6, a little bit weaker for its play point cost, but it gets Rush that makes up for it. If he plays on turn 4, you evolve everything in your hand. So if you have like, if you're running commander deck, you're gonna have a bunch of commanders. They're all gonna cost 1 less. Even like, even stuff like amulets that are commanders as well are gonna cost less. Yeah, if commander deck's a thing, it's gonna be a thing. It's like what we say with cards like Daria. If this is gonna be a thing, it's gonna be a thing. But like, what's that card? Imperial Dragoon. We're saying if discard Dragon is good, he'll be good, but he wasn't good because discard Dragon wasn't good. If Commander Craft is good, this guy will be really good. Even if this hits like 2 cards, you get quite a bit of value off it. Could fetch it with Advent later. Yeah, I guess if you are not running that many officers, you can run Advent later. Draw this. But if you're not running that many officers, you probably wouldn't want to play a commander that has kind of poor stats. But drawing 2 is good. This guy's an officer, yeah. So he doesn't get any synergy of like the commanders, but I think it'd be too busted if you also commander. Yeah, like Commander Craft is gonna have like good stats. But board clears are still a big problem. Lack of card draw. Yeah, maybe run Naval later. Not sure. I'll have to see how you build a deck. 4-mana Albert, yeah. It's kind of crazy. I might see. We play this instead of Juno. The other 4 drops in Sword really good, but we don't have a Commander Craft deck yet, so maybe you'll see play. Why is Roland the girl? Why not? Yeah. Roland the Incorruptible. So we'll go over the sword later. It's a 7 play point, 4/5, so its stats aren't that good. But has ward, so it's like a speed bump late in the game. Now this Fanfare summon Durandal, Incorruptible. If there isn't an allied Durandal Incorruptible in place, you can't stack them. You don't want to play too many of these guys or girls. Too many Rolands in your deck. You may want to play 2 of them. And then here's Durandal. Let's just do this. It is. It's a commander, 7 play point amulet. Enemy follower spells and amulets can't deal 4 more damage at a time. Yeah, like the 5 health on her actually matters because of the effect of this. This is like this is ridiculous. If you get this active, then you're not going to die that quickly, especially if you have 20 health. So like stuff like Roach combo is gonna be super weak. It actually makes you getting like she costs 7, right? How much did she cost again? Sorry, she costs more than 7, right? That's 7. Oh, she costs 7. That's so good. Into play. Okay, so go over that again. You can drop this a turn before the D shift, and they would have a hard time actually killing you with D shift. Because it makes all of their Flame Destroyers do 4 damage instead of 7 or 9. Which is actually kind of a big deal. If it becomes a problem, they run Petrify though. That slows them down. It also makes it so they break easier. Have to play 3D shift, yeah. And not have to get the nuts, right? And can still kill you through this. It also stops roaches from killing you in 1 turn. Forces actually have a hard time dealing with this card if they're not running like Odin. That's like the only card. Odin or Bahamut. Like, I don't think Force wants to run Bahamut usually. That's his control card. This card's like this aim's amazing. I think this is the card that Control Sword really needs. Because you don't want to give Sword healing. Healing isn't really a thing that Sword does. I think this card is a really good replacement for healing. You also play a bunch of like tough ward cards, and then they can't remove that ward because they're only doing 4 damage to the ward at a time. Like Front Guard General is going to be like super annoying to kill. Yeah, decent, but we'll see because this card might be easily removed, as we'll see later. Now Revelation will do 4 damage to your minions and 8 to them. Yeah, it's pretty good. Charlotte too. Yeah, Charlotte too. Oops. Yeah, this card's really good. I'm excited to play Sword. I've always liked playing Sword, I just don't like the current archetype that it has. And this is pretty amazing. Yeah, like, well, that's not too of a bad thing either. Because if people start running execution over Dance to Death, that means the game's actually slowing down. And if people are running execution to remove amulets, we're actually seeing a game where we're actually interacting with each other's boards instead of just going face. That's a good thing, I think. And it'd be kind of dumb if this didn't have a counter. If you just drop this on the board and it can't be countered, and your opponent just has a super hard time. No, no, if they have to take a turn off to like remove it, that's fine. You still have this body on the board, right? And you can always play another one, right? It's good. We're actually getting interactive stuff. Nice. Instead of just Storm. Forest gets Storm. You get interactive stuff here. Alright. Guard it. Yeah, that's like... Sure, it has counters, but it's good. Everything should have a counter of some kind. As long as it's not super cheap to remove it. And it's not. Oh yeah, Alta. We'll go over Alta later. Yeah, Bahamut obviously kills it. Bahamut is a... I don't really like Bahamut right now. The more stuff that's cool, the more stuff that gets wrecked by Bahamut.